I used to listen to podcasts. I forget what it's called. There's one that's like How We Were Made or something.
How I built this?
Yes.
Yeah.
And you listen to those and you're like, I found myself even being like, wow, that was really lucky that they got into that space at that time and they met that person at that time. And you hear these success stories of all these different brands and you just think that it can't be you. And I think that's such a big lesson to take away is that you can make it for yourself. And the same things are going to happen to you if your heart's in the right place and you're putting the work in. I think
it's hard work. She's realizing that now.
But one thing I learned from corporate, which I'll quote my old CEO, the harder you work, the luckier you get. He always told me that.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like flipping him off at the time. But now I'm like, you see it. Like you put in the time and you put in the work. And honestly, like good things happen to you and good things come.
Welcome to Modern Happiness, where we believe happiness is a choice. Our goal is to share how we and our high-performing guests choose happiness, covering topics such as fitness, mindset, relationships, business, and much more in today's world. Here are your hosts, Matt Mahalik and Taylor Sleaford.
What's up, happiness homies? It's your girl Deuce coming at ya with another episode of Modern Happiness. Today we have a special offer for you guys. We have Lekker Coffee on the podcast. And if you're local to Denver, Colorado, and it's your first time visiting Lekker, these two have been so gracious enough to offer you 20% off your first visit. All you have to do is mention Modern Happiness Podcast to receive 20% off your whole order for your first visit. Awesome. Fucking awesome. That's all I got for you today. Hope you enjoy this next episode.
What is up, everybody? We have quite the dynamic duo for you guys today. We are at Lekker Coffee in Denver, Colorado. So excited. Matt, who do we got?
I am so excited to have these two. Dawn and Kara, mother-daughter duo. They, like Taylor said, they own Lekker Coffee. And the great thing that I love about this place, we're recording right now in Lekker Coffee, and the coffee's great, the burritos are phenomenal, but ultimately, it's you two. It's any relationship that a mom would want with their daughter, and any relationship a daughter would want with their mom. Yeah, you guys are so much fun. You're always dancing. So we're so excited to have you. Welcome to Modern Happiness.
Thank you. Woo!
How you guys feeling?
We're so happy to be here. It's awesome.
We got
Cheers.
We got Vizzies. We got hard stuff going.
Ready to go.
Oh, we forgot.
Oh yeah, I forgot to drink.
You gotta sip when you cheers.
It's too late for coffee, so I love coffee, but I'm super sensitive.
We're on the alcohol train.
Yeah,
here for it.
And we all will be soon.
Yeah. How you guys doing?
Great.
Fantastic.
Great. Well,
long day.
We're gonna start off with some rapid fire questions.
Ooh,
you guys have not seen these yet, so here's where we're gonna go. We'll start one at a time. Where are you from, and where do you live now?
I'm from California, and I live in Denver now, in RiNo.
Nice.
Yeah.
Same Z's. I grew up with this one.
Yeah.
So California, and it's in Denver as well.
Where in California?
Fresno area.
Central Valley.
Awesome. What do you guys? What do you do for fun? Kara, you start.
Well, before we opened the coffee shop, because now we're here a lot, I love riding horses. I love all things animal, hence the whole RiNo conservation theme with Lekker Coffee. And really just laying out by the pool and having a drink.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Dawn?
Well, now we just work, which is a lot of fun because I can't wait to get to work. But prior to this, I like to golf. Had a bar prior to this and love to drink and talk to people and
humans.
We got a nice foursome right there.
Yeah, Matt and I also love to play golf and drink. So
perfect.
No, I'll drive the cart. I'm not there.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's good. Someone's got to drive.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay. Most used emoji. Dawn, do you know what an emoji is?
Yeah, smile face.
Yeah. Okay.
She does the one with
Smile
the big
face and a heart.
Yeah.
The big
Always.
eyes. The big eyes.
Smile face and a heart.
I do the sassy face, the one that's like.
Yeah.
Has like the little.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Like,
yeah.
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 Yeah. That's definitely 100%.
I've been really leaning into the like blushing face with the hands. I feel
Yeah.
like it's like asking for a hug, and
It's cute.
I love it. Yeah, it's super cute.
It's cute.
That
Yeah.
is cute.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, I was not prepared, so I'm cheating off Taylor's iPad. You guys know what a walk-up song is?
Like
No.
a walk-in song?
Yeah, like if you're a boxer or if you're a baseball player,
like,
you get a song to
dun,
pump
dun,
you
dun.
up.
Oh, is that
what
yours?
is- what is your-
what's that song?
I would do an AC/DC song.
Ooh,
Okay.
nice.
Yeah.
Thunderstruck? Nah, there
Oh
we
my
go.
God, so you're the Raiders.
Yes.
No. Well, you know,
love it.
California Raiders.
I always ask people to sing it, and no one ever sings it. Thank you so much for singing.
You're welcome.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. What about you?
I don't know. I don't know any names of songs.
Interesting.
I'm with
Like,
you
I
there.
just keep thinking of the, like, bring 'em out, bring 'em out.
Okay,
Right?
okay.
Like, that's
T.I.?
fun.
Is that T.I.?
Right. I love T.I.
Yeah, there you go.
We listen to, like, a very eclectic playlist at the shop, I feel. But once Liquor comes, I feel like there's going to be more rap
Oh,
involved.
baby.
There's going to be that
Yeah.
moment
Way more
at night where it
fun.
just shifts.
I
from
love-
Oh,
coffee
there'll be
shop.
no night. This is a daytime drinking place.
Right.
Okay,
Liquor
okay.
Yeah.
starts at 7 a.m. here.
Yeah.
It's
7
also,
a.m.
I don't know if we told you
Irish
guys,
coffee?
100%. But it's no longer just Lekker Coffee. It's Lekker Coffee and Watering Hole. We had
Oh,
to change
baby.
our name.
We had to
Nice.
change our name.
So
Oh, you had to.
That was a
Yes.
requirement?
That was a
Yeah.
requirement.
it was,
To get the
and we have to
license.
sell a lot of booze.
And
So we're
watering-
relying a lot on you guys.
Yeah.
We'll come through.
Okay,
Don't worry.
I
We'll-
think so.
I'll take care of that
Appreciate it.
single-handedly.
I'll speak for the
Perfect.
collective Denver community.
Yeah.
We got you.
That shouldn't be a problem. Yep.
Thanks.
Go ahead, Taylor.
Okay, next question. Favorite book?
Fuck Feelings.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
It's a great book.
What is that?
I actually,
Give me
It's
a
a
little. Give me a little
therapist and his
taste.
daughter wrote it, a doctor, and it's all about, you know what, you do what you want to do. Don't worry about what other people say, how
Yeah.
they say it. When you go somewhere, if people look at you, fuck it.
Fuck them.
Fuck them.
Yeah.
It says "fuck feelings." It's bright yellow,
Right.
and they always hide it in the bookstores. And if you, I
Dirty
went up and I
words.
asked, and I
Nice.
said, "Hey, you guys have that book? You know, the F word feelings?" Oh yeah, we do. It's right over here, and it was tucked behind, but it's
Nice.
bright yellow. But yeah, that's my favorite book.
I had this realization the other day. I was like, old people aren't crazy. They just realize that fuck feelings. Fuck everyone else. Like,
Yeah.
I'm going to do what makes me happy.
Yeah.
And that's all that matters.
Yeah.
And it's like, they're not crazy. They're just doing what makes them
I'm
happy.
a little crazy, but yeah,
Crazy?
she is.
I wasn't
It's
calling
fine.
you old.
I'm a little
You're young and
crazy.
spry.
Yeah, yeah, I think I am.
She is.
definitely.
Yeah, it's all good.
I mean, this is also a tough one. I feel like I should.
You read a lot.
I do read a lot of books. I read a lot of fiction. Like, it's more just like I like to read and just not think about things. So I don't really read like. I haven't read Fuck Feelings.
No,
I haven't read a lot of like self-help type books. It's more like
it
if I
can
want
be
to just
anything.
zone out.
Anything.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
There's no requirement.
I just read a book called The Lost Apothecary, and that was a pretty good one.
Nice.
you like the one
Yeah.
with the big
fun.
elephant and the little boy. That was
Yeah,
one of your
Modoc.
favorite.
It's
You
a
read
great
it twice.
book. Great book. That's just because you sat next to your bed. You saw that for
Yeah,
a
I
whole year.
did.
So I was like, read this. She's like, I'm going to cry. I'm not reading it.
Yeah, no, I like trashy novels too. They're kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice to get lost and away
Yeah.
from.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Oh,
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I'm with that. I'm a big Stephen King fan, so
Ooh.
yeah, he's a great writer.
Yes.
Are those scary?
Yeah, they can be. I mean,
Action.
he's like Carrie.
Ooh, yeah, no go.
What are the other
Hard
ones?
pass.
It.
Only comedies.
What's the one with the hotel? The Shining.
Ooh, yeah.
He wrote those.
Okay, yeah.
Also, Shawshank
Yeah.
Redemption
Estes Park.
was. What was that?
S.C. Spark? Is that the?
Not
Yes.
Sure. Not sure
Yeah.
about that one.
That's
Yeah,
where
yeah.
Estes Park is. No, that's where
Oh, that's
the
where
Shiny
based-
Hotel.
Based on,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. All right. You guys have any nicknames?
Dee Dee, I was called because my name's Deanna
Yeah.
Dawn, so I was always Dee Dee.
Dee Dee.
Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, nothing really cool.
No.
KK. My brother calls me KK.
yeah.
Dee Dee and KK. Love it. I'll remember
Yeah.
that.
Kara. My Brett calls me Kara when he's mad at me
Yeah.
because it's like
That's when you know. Cara.
yeah.
Uh-oh,
Yeah.
what'd I
He's
do?
like, okay, Kara. I'm like, so close. You never know Kara or Kara, so kind of answer to both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Airline stewardess.
Yeah, that makes sense.
What at what age was this that you wanted? You knew you
9
wanted
and
to be that?
10 when
Okay.
you write all the stuff, what you want
Yeah.
to be when you grow up, and
That was like the big thing.
yeah.
You get your 401k, right? Travel the world.
Well, she was just always a
Well,
talker.
I talked and I
She got in
loved.
trouble for talking all the time.
nice.
So this is a perfect situation
You
for
and my
her.
mom would get along.
Yeah, I talk all the time.
And my mom.
And
Yeah.
I just love to make people happy. I like to serve. Like I love to bring you your cup of coffee to make you
So
happy.
you never realized this dream?
Well, no, because I started traveling like hell. They work a lot. They work hard in the air. No, I'm just going to stay here, enjoy it, and have them serve me. But then, yeah, and I ended up.
Smart move.
Yeah, I met my husband at 16 and had a whole different life. So, yeah, no.
Nice.
Cool.
Do you want to
Yeah.
go do that now?
No, I got this.
Oh.
Can't
Got-
go
she's got
anywhere.
the coffee shop.
We
Fair.
got the shop and then a bar. We're good
Yeah,
to go.
wow,
Yeah,
this
she's got
is
the
gonna be
Yeah, I
more
got the
things.
bar right here. I'll be
Oh.
serving right here on the ground. It's
Dream is
perfect.
happening.
No flying.
Yeah, no flying. Good to go.
I wanted to be a veterinarian forever. And then what's super weird is that I also said I was going to start a bakery.
She did.
Dawn talked me out of that, and then hence this.
Wow, now
kinda
you
close.
sell baked goods here at the coffee shop,
Right.
and you're saving rhinos. So
Right. It kind of came full circle,
You're
except for
basically
I don't
killing
have to
it.
deal with like sick animals all the time. That was a tough choice.
yeah, you just give them your money.
It's a hard one. A lot of vets are guessing, and that drove me nuts because I studied equine science in college, and a lot of our professors were vets, and they were like, "Look, you got to just line it out what it could be, and then kind of cross the things off." And I was like, I don't know if I like that. Same with doctors. I mean, I get it.
exact
Like, that's the
same.
only really way you can do things.
Yeah.
I just don't know. I wasn't a fan of it. Like, I
Yeah.
want to know what it is and fix it.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Cool. This is our final rapid fire question. What is your?
2 more?
We have 2 more. Okay. Did I skip the last
Ooh.
one? Oh boy.
Superpower?
Give me this. Oh, what is your superpower? Kara, you start.
What is the superpower?
No, okay, so not like, be invisible or something, but like.
Oh, not like what I could have?
Yeah,
Yeah.
what are you great at? Like maybe Don, maybe it's relationships. You like to talk. Maybe it's relationships, serving people.
I think connecting people.
Yeah.
I really love connecting people. And I feel like already here, I've like introduced people to get jobs at other places. And like, it's just, there's, you always do those like, where they tell you your top quality or whatever, like the, what is it called?
You're like Myers-Briggs test or
Yes.
something? Personality test?
Connector's always like one of my top ones.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Perfect.
I think that's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Just helping people.
Yeah, I like it.
But I think I got it from her.
Yeah, I took care of people always. Like I took care of my mom, my dad, my grandma, some neighbor that almost was, well, she did make it to 100. I met her at 95. Estelle, she had no family or anybody because she outlived everybody, but she was my neighbor. And I said, how do you get the groceries? She says, I just met you, so you're going to get them. I said, perfect. And she was like my best friend for, 5 years because she was so interesting because she's so old. So
Yeah.
she knew so many things.
A lot of stories.
Yeah, a lot of stories. So just taking care of people. And I think that's where the coffee shop comes in handy with service because I love making you happy. If you don't like your coffee, I'll pour it out and start over.
Right.
And I've done that probably 5 times here. Somebody didn't like it and they go, you're really going to give me something else? I go, yes, I'm not going to make you drink something you don't like. Who cares? I can do that. That's what's fun
Yeah.
about being here.
That's awesome.
Pour it out and start over.
I could tell.
Then they're happy.
I could tell just before you said that, like when I come and you're like, go sit down, I'll bring you your coffee. And then when you do, like, it's not like a burden or anything. You could tell you love
no,
doing
I like
it.
it. Yeah, we'll be busy. There'll be a line, and I'm still going to take that guy sitting in that chair over there his coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can see the
'cause
smile under
he's
the
our-
mask.
Yeah, it's just, I love that. I can't wait to
Which
get
we
that
don't have to
mask
wear
off.
anymore.
Yes. Yes.
That is
Yay.
wild.
It's
85 degrees here today in Denver.
Nice.
We don't have to wear masks inside anymore.
Nice.
Oh my God.
That is
So nice.
That's like based on the business, right? People are
Each
still.
business
Correct.
gets to stay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I went to a restaurant last night and you didn't have to. People working there didn't. And actually, I coach at a gym too, and we don't wear them anymore.
It's pretty
As of
nice.
last week, and every 5 minutes, I'm like, am I forgetting something? Where's?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't have that thing around my face.
Someone walked in yesterday and was like, I feel like I'm not wearing pants.
Yeah.
And we're like, it's okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just keep walking.
I followed a guy into Walmart the other day. I was getting some paper towels, and he didn't wear a mask. And I'm like, oh, we don't have to do that.
Yeah.
And I still wore mine. I'm like, I can't. I'm
It's
like, I can't
weird.
do it.
Some
I can't do
places,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Some
We'll tell
places
people
might-
you don't have to.
And then
And they're like,
well, but
"Ooh,
you
but
have
like-"
yours on. It's like,
Right.
well, we're doing out of courtesy for
Yeah.
another week or so.
Yeah.
And then we'll take
Maybe.
ours off.
Today was pretty hot.
Yeah, it's when it's warm, boy. It's, yeah. If
Oh,
you don't take
yeah.
that baby
We're actually
off.
pretty grateful it was winter that we had to wear them all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. 'Cause summer. oof.
Actually, fun fact: I was a barista back in the day, and it gets hot back
Whoa.
there.
It
gets
does.
hot back there.
Yes, there's a lot of machines.
People don't
going
know
on.
you're moving around, you're getting
Yeah.
things going. Yeah,
Right.
it's no joke.
Especially with that mask.
Yeah. Okay, last
Okay.
rapid fire question.
Yes.
What is the best purchase you've made of $150 or less in the past year? Something you use all the time.
These Birkenstocks.
Oh boy.
Love it.
Oh, God.
I'm there with
Don't
you.
get them started on the
They're
Birkenstocks.
so cozy.
Yeah. You can wear it winter, summer. You just put
Right.
socks on.
I mean, these guys, yeah, they're getting me through the long days. Honestly, standing is hard all day.
Matt's
you don't
really
think
just
about that.
jealous because he doesn't have them.
The Birks and socks, the Birks and socks and Birks and socks.
It's Denver, man.
It is
I-
so Denver.
It's a lifestyle.
I'm getting sold.
It is so Denver.
I'll probably get Birkenstocks next paycheck.
See?
Hey,
Whatever.
yeah, I think.
I'm here for it.
What else?
Don, what do you got?
Probably these shoes right here.
Okay.
I mean,
Big shoe
these
game.
ladies are on their feet all day, you know?
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
important.
That's one thing that I didn't realize. I mean, you had the bar before, so you stood all the time.
But I wore boots.
I worked tech before this, so I was like always sitting, which is like brings on a whole nother issue, right? Of just sitting all day. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Apparently I
Yes.
stand weird. I fractured my, or not fractured, sprained my vertebrae by the way I stand because I don't stand correctly.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. It's just one day you're standing there and you're like, oh, shit.
Yes,
Literally, I couldn't even
exactly.
pick up like a thing
No,
of milk.
that really happened.
So terrible. And the
Wow.
guy's like, you just don't stand correctly. And I'm like,
And we met
Yeah.
a PT that comes in here, and he just
Yeah.
fixed us both
I was
up.
laying in the kitchen every like 30 minutes doing exercises on the floor. Because, like, you know, got to be here.
Yeah.
Got to figure it out. But I couldn't even like bend over and pick up like even a little thing of oat milk. It would hurt so bad.
Damn.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Damn, that damn oat milk.
So we got to stand better.
Yes.
Yeah.
Stand
Squeeze
there.
your butt.
So many things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Tight core. Okay, now what I really want to dive into, let's talk about the coffee shop. I want to know where the inception was, the idea, how did that come about? When did you guys actually decide to make moves, all the things?
Yeah. So mom was living in California. She had the bar that she had was it was started by my great grandma in the 40s, 1946.
Actually, late 30s by Grandpa, and then Grandma and Grandpa started Lloyd and Jerry's in 1946, and Grandma ran it
during the Depression.
yeah.
Wow.
So she's running that, right? Which is kind of crazy when you think of like a woman running a bar.
Oh, yeah,
at that
Grandma,
time.
yeah.
She
That's
just like
crazy.
ran
And she worked
shit.
for 40 years
Probably
every
unheard of.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
it was
Yeah.
So
yeah.
then my grandpa, mom's dad ran it.
for 30.
So then like whenever I was being babysat, I was like in the bar, like drinking soda, eating peanuts, like chilling with everybody. Then mom ran it, and she
For
kind of had this
10 years.
point, but it was like the area in Fresno, like it was kind of like getting gang ridden, and there was all these things, and like I remember one time I was bartending, and mom's like, this guy walks out, he's got like all these teardrops. She's like, oh, he runs this gang, and I was like, Mom, like, is that a little scary? Maybe like you're just here like by yourself. She's like, no, they got my back. I'm like,
It's all good.
oh my
Yeah.
God,
Yeah.
is my mom in a gang?
Yeah.
So then I was like, well, maybe like we should look at, what are you going to do long term, right? Like what do you want to do? And she's like, well, I mean, I love the bar, but maybe I should sell it. Maybe I shouldn't. So we came to this whole conclusion of like, maybe she should sell it. And then I was still working.
What year was this? Just
This
for-
was like 3-4 years ago.
Okay.
Well, we started discussing it in 2017
Okay.
in the summer.
Yeah.
Because she had just gotten back from South Africa with these rhinos.
Right.
So that's kind of how it
So
all
I was like,
came
wow,
about.
it's pretty great.
Yeah, so she
I
said,
don't want to go back to 9 to 5. And then what did I do?
yeah.
Went back to 9 to 5.
Been there.
So then I
Right.
closed the bar in 2017, December, actually sold it. And then ran a deli for a year and a half for my cousin, and then had plans to come out. We started thinking about it, I guess, in 2017 when I closed it.
Right.
That's the reason I closed it, because we knew we were going to do this, but we didn't know when the time would be
We
right.
didn't really know how either. Like,
Yeah.
Brett and I would be walking around RiNo, and I would just call random numbers that said, like, available now. And they're like, what do you have? And I'm like, a coffee shop.
Yeah.
And they're like, cool, can you send me your concept? I'm like, uh-huh. It's like, what the fuck is a concept?
What's a concept?
Like, what does that mean?
You don't know what a coffee shop is?
Like, literally, I had
We
to call.
make coffee, people drink
we're going to
it.
just give it to them, and it's going to be great. So I have a friend that I went to college with that lives in Denver that's a graphic designer. And I just remember calling her and being like, dude, we need to come up with a concept, because I told these people I was going to send it to them in 2 days.
And this is
And, like, we
August.
don't have a logo. Like, we don't even have a name. And
it
we
was-
got to send it to them.
But it was August 2017. No,
Right.
2018. Because I was out here on a road trip, and she said, Mom, what do you think about doing a coffee shop together? I said, sure, let's do it.
Nice.
Yeah, we're
Where?
mourning
that.
people.
I go,
She's very fly by like just
Just
sure,
always
yeah.
been like that. Just
Yeah, you
Go
know,
with
I
the flow.
just, yeah, I live for my kids. I mean, I'll do anything for my kids. And like I said, I took care of everybody. So then when she had this idea, it's like, why not? What else am I going to do right now?
Right. She's very supportive.
Yeah.
Love that.
So I was like, okay, let's just do it. So then we came up with our concept,
Yeah.
which was very like we
first learned
knew
what a concept was, and then
that
came
was
up
a
with
tough
it.
one. Like
Yes,
definitely some
correct.
Googling. Also, they're like telling me pricing. I'm like, is this per year or per month or like what? What does this mean? Like I have no idea what they're talking about.
We did it.
And it was like, I mean, but that's kind of how I was raised. Is you just kind of do it, and
This-
you
Yeah.
kind of
We
figure
just
it
go
out as
for
you
it.
go.
Yeah.
This is incredible. Just to pause for a second, this is something Matt and I talk about all the time. I call it speed of implementation. He calls it messy action. But you guys listening, we were in a coffee shop that is now open. They're doing the things, and
Yes.
they just
We're doing way better than
They-
we would
they just-
ever thought.
Yes, than
They
we
just
ever
started.
imagined.
Yeah.
simply
it's-
one step at a time.
It's popping off here. I think it's so super cool that you just have been this way, both of you, it seems like. And I would say it has to do with growing up and seeing your mom,
100%.
you know, run this bar, and then same with you, watching your mom run the bar, and then just doing it. Where I feel like hasn't been me. I like plan shit all the time, and like
Sure.
I did this bike trip across the country, and I don't know if you know
Like
that.
you rode a
Taylor.
bike.
Matt,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
oh
You
here
rode
we
a
go.
bike across the country?
If you listen to our previous 11 episodes, you can hear about
I
Matt
say it every
riding
time.
his.
Yeah, but it
I
was.
say it every time.
But you
Well,
know,
that's
That's pretty
important.
cool. You really rode a bike across America?
yeah,
Well,
5,000
good for
miles,
you.
90 days.
Yeah, give him a little.
Yeah. So it was like quarter life crisis. I was a civil engineer in New York. I was like, I need to do something else for the love of God. Get me out of here. And so yeah, I did that, and it, you know, I planned it for like 7 months, and then since then, it's like I've always been kind of a planner. Maybe that's the engineer part of me, this like math part of me. But through time, I've learned to just go for it, just do shit, and that was like moving out here to Denver. I was in New York City, moving out here to Denver without a job, and then that I just was leaned into personal training. Didn't like that, so I'm like, I'm just gonna be a photographer. And then COVID happened, and then I just leaned into being this business coach for personal trainers, and like slowly but surely, I just want that to be clear for our listeners. Like some people just do it, and that's awesome, but it also can be learned. And it's not like I'm a planner, and this is how it has to be. I'm very type A, whatever.
Fair.
Like you, like just take that first step. But I think that's awesome that you guys.
Yeah, you gotta just
go
jump
for
in.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
we
yeah.
kind of just pretended like we knew. Like we had never done coffee before, and now that we're getting going with liquor, I mean, even having done the bar before, we're like, shit, we need to make drinks. Like it feels like we're reopening all over again, and we're like both all over the place. Like we're like clearly in another world this week because we're like it's stressful.
Yeah, our heads just going,
And I'm
whoa.
like,
Oh,
you
well,
know
here-
what? We gotta
here-
just jump in. We did this before. We could do it again.
I'll take this from Bar Rescue, I think. But it's
Oh,
like
love Bar Rescue.
But it's like
Love
2
that
signature
show.
cocktails. That's all you
Yes.
offer. And then it's
Correct.
like if people want like gin and tonic, that's easy. Like a shot with tonic, you know, rum and coke, whatever. But like you have 2 signature cocktails. That's maybe like a light and a dark or something,
Fair.
and just master those.
Yes.
And then you just serve hard seltzers for everyone else.
A lot
Yes.
of boozy coffees is what we're
Yeah.
going
Oh,
to
cool.
do.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Oh, that's
Boozy
true.
coffees.
Right.
So we need to master those recipes.
Right.
And we
That's
try
a
them.
good
But
point.
in the afternoon, we want to try it. It's like you said, you don't know
Right,
if
we're
we're
not
going to
trying
drink
to chug
coffee.
espresso martinis all
Yeah.
night.
For
Or
sure.
are we?
Get-
Stay
get
on
wired.
Otherwise, because we
Yeah.
got to be up at 4:30 and start
Right.
all
For
over
sure.
again.
Yeah.
No, I love it. When I was a barista and I got the job, I like taught myself on YouTube how to make lattes and
Yeah,
latte
yeah.
art,
Milk-
and
well,
Yeah.
yes, the milk
was
art,
like,
they've got it down.
Oh, cool. This is kind
It's
of
hard.
a leaf.
Oh my
Maybe
gosh, we
it's
say
abstract.
onions. Always. We're
Later
like
I'll show you.
abstract art.
No,
Yeah,
we're
I've
in
got a
RiNo.
picture.
We're in the art district, so
Yeah.
abstract is where it's at in our shop.
Perfect.
You should bring in like guest baristas.
Right.
I
would
know.
be cool.
I know. Down the street, there's Carbon. There's one girl there that's like
Yes.
famous. She draws like penises and stuff.
That's actually much
Really?
easier than a hard.
Like bring
Yeah,
her
we've
into our
tried
thing.
done that.
They
by
call it
accident.
a
actually-
Dicacino,
Yeah.
so like it's a thing.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't be impressed, basically.
I'd love
Yeah.
it.
I mean,
I'd love a titachino. if you could
I
bring
mean,
those.
try that.
Not-
It's a tough
not talking
one,
about coffee.
right?
Yeah.
To do like the actual like hearts and stuff is it's
yeah,
hard.
it's no joke.
Yeah, some guys out there, they could do some really good art.
Yeah.
They do.
Okay, so
Yeah.
back to the
Oh, yeah, we got
how
a
did
little
yeah yeah
Oh, yeah.
No,
Oh,
I
we
love
got a
it.
little
But
sidetracked.
I want to get the
Okay.
story out.
Yes.
How did you end up in Denver first of all?
Yeah.
I moved here to open an office for the consulting company I was working for at the time.
Okay, so what were you doing prior to opening Lekker?
Technology staffing. So I'd started with them out of college, was kind of told don't turn down an interview, right? So I take this interview. I get a job offer. I'm like, okay, I'm about to graduate. I should probably just do this. I was at that point where I was like, do I go to vet school? Do I not? And I was like, I got this offer. Everyone else is getting hired there, and it seems really cool. Like, this is great. And so I moved to Los Angeles, and I do that. And I was like doing technical recruiting for a while, and then I got into sales. And then I was running their LA office. And then they said, hey, we want to expand. Where do you want to go in the U.S.? I was like, nowhere, really.
Yeah, I'm like, oh no.
Not really any place. And so we kind of put it on the back burner. And I was like, you know what? Maybe that would be cool. Maybe I should go somewhere. And so I was like, you know what? What about Seattle, Denver, Austin? And they were like, okay, we'll fly you to those places and you can check them out.
The hot spots.
So we went to those places, and everywhere was awesome, but I was like, maybe Denver or Austin would be cool. And so we ultimately decided Denver because it was only an hour time difference from California. And so
That's the main reason?
main reason.
Wow.
And he was like, my
Interesting.
CEO was like,
No,
hey.
but she came here by herself.
Yeah, she was like, can you move out? Or he was like, can you move out in like 3 months?
Yeah, and started an office and
Here's your
staffed it.
lease. Like, go buy furniture. This table right here, he gave me from like my original purchases because the
Wow.
office just closed like a couple months ago. So I went back to work for him eventually. But yeah, it was like hire everybody. We had no clients out here. And we just had an empty office space. So that was 6 years ago. So I
Yeah.
did that for two and a half years out here. Established a pretty good base. Like, at a CEO and our VP ended up moving out here. And they were like, hey, we're going to shut down our LA and San Francisco office. And I want everybody to move here. And I want you to lead it. And I was like, I'm quitting. Like, it was like, it
Fuck
was
yeah.
a very,
Yeah.
it was,
She said,
yeah, it
"I'm
was
leaving.
pretty
Don't be
intense.
leaving on me."
I was
Wow.
like, I had just gotten back from Thailand with Jelly, with my cousin. And I had like been planning on wanting to leave. And Brett and I had just bought tickets to Iceland because he was like, you hate your job. Like, we're just going to buy these tickets and you're going to have to quit by this time. And it was like 6 months away. And so I get back and we're sitting there and having this meeting. And he was like showing me all these charts. And I was kind of like jet lag. I'm like, I don't know where this is going. And he was like, so basically we're moving here. And I'm telling everybody next week that like they're going to report to you and they're coming here. And I was like, okay, can we go to coffee tomorrow morning? And he was like, yeah, I knew you were going to have questions. And I was like, oh my God, I can't let everybody think that they're going to come here and like work for me.
Yeah.
And so I told him I was quitting that next day. And he like literally was like, I have nothing to say, like walked out of the coffee.
Wow.
And like, it was pretty intense.
Man,
So-
this again is crazy, I feel like, for our listeners, where from the outside in, earlier before we started recording, we were talking about like doing what you want
Yeah.
versus, fuck feelings versus what you feel like you're supposed to do. And from the outside looking in, it sounds like everything was great. They moved you out here. You're getting promotions. You're running a team. Like, I think
Right.
most people would just like be like, okay, this is what I do. How
Everybody.
No.
How was that for you to just?
I mean, it was really hard moving out here. I mean, we knew nobody. Brett was living like this is my husband now, but we were just kind of like long distance dating at the time. And I was like, hey man, I'm going to Colorado. You can come if you want. And so he was like, okay, sure. But we literally knew nobody. We hadn't lived together. Everybody that I knew out in Denver was people I hired. So they weren't going to like hang out with the boss, right? And so it just became this like kind of hard thing where we were like trying to make friends, but you're in like your mid 20s and it's kind of hard to make friends. Like everybody asked for their number. I feel like they thought I was like trying to hit on them. And it was just this whole thing of like, oh my God, like Denver's hard. And so, yeah, I think you get into this groove and like you guys have said earlier, you just get into this mix of like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm successful, I think,
She
based
was
on
very
what
successful
people
at what
think
she did.
success is.
She was very good.
But I would come home and it was ultimately Brett who was like, dude, you fucking hate this. He's like, you come home and all you do, like you're working like all the time. Like you're not happy.
So
And
she
I'm
quit,
like,
went to Iceland, ended up in South Africa, and then got after these rhinos.
long story short.
Yeah, long story short, we
Oh,
gotta,
so
we gotta
rich,
get
so
to go
rich.
here. Yeah. so that's how this all came
Right.
about. She went to these rhinos and
Okay,
fell in
so
love.
tell us about these rhinos, because this is
Right.
part of Lekker.
And so it was kind of like the whole vet school thing. I always wanted to go to Africa and like work with large animals. The only thing I could find online where I could do that was Care for Wild. So it was this It's the largest rhino orphanage and sanctuary in the world. It's in South Africa. It's in this like very remote part of South Africa called Nelspruit. And it's like 22,000 acres. Now I think they have like 70 rhino, but they've partnered with Kruger National Park. So anytime a mother rhino is poached, so rhinos are poached all the time for their horn. It's like supposed to be an aphrodisiac, and it's supposed to be all these crazy things, but really it's just fingernail material. It's keratin. And so they partnered with them. Anytime a mother rhino is poached and they can find the baby, they'll helicopter them to this facility. And they'll take them there, and they'll basically bring them up, introduce them to the other little orphans, and they build these little crashes of rhinos, and it's just the cutest thing ever. And so I went there for a month, and I just fell in love with it. And I was like, dude, no one talks about any of this. We moved back to Denver, ended up living in the rhino district. And I'm like, okay. Mom's like, there's rhinos on the bike
rhinos
lanes.
in the bike lanes. Oh my God. Okay, that's the ticket. We're going to do a business in Rhino.
Right.
Now, we're not doing your bakery. What are we doing? A bar or coffee shop? Those are two things that I'll be able to sell, and we'll be able to rock it.
And now you're doing both.
Now we're going to do
Yeah.
both.
Oh,
Yay,
yeah.
I got my bar. Yay.
That's so amazing. Kind
very
of, we
excited.
talk about paying attention to these coincidences.
Yeah.
And be like, there's something to this. You know, you fell in
Yeah.
love with rhinos,
Feels
now you're in
very
the rhino district.
serendipitous,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
And by
Yeah.
the way, everyone should know, Lekka, it's Lekker, pronounced Lekka. It's African slang word for meaning great, tasty, and fantastic.
Right.
Yeah.
Just so everyone knows.
And
Yes.
it's a Dutch
perfect-
origin. We get a lot of
Okay.
like people from Amsterdam or of Dutch origin that are like, hey, I know the word lekker. I say lekka because I learned it in Afrikaans. They say it lekka because they have an accent. So like I pretend.
No, well, now I say Lekka on like just naturally.
It's just great.
And even when I'm
It's a
typing
great
it,
word.
I spell it wrong because now I'm
Right.
saying
Right.
it.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it's weird, but it's overall
great
just such
word.
a positive word. So I was like, let's bring that back.
Yeah,
That's
I love it.
amazing. Yeah.
And that's how it all started.
This is so good.
I love it.
It's crazy.
Okay, so you had your concept. You came up with the
Whew,
concept.
that was a tough one. Looking back at it is
Woo.
really funny too.
And then what was the next step? How did this actually like roll out and start?
I came out on a road
well,
trip.
was that when we toured the first spot?
Then we toured the first spot. I went. I was on my way home. Of course, stopped in Las Vegas. She calls me and goes, "Mom, we need your signature. We're going to sign a lease of intent for this spot." I'm like, "Are you kidding me? How
She's
am I
like
gonna do that?"
hammered. I'm like sending it to
Yeah,
the
she
wind
goes,
front
yeah.
desk so she can go sign it. Like,
So we did all
Yes,
the
I love that.
paperwork.
Las Vegas, of course.
Yes,
I
of
love
course.
it.
yeah, 100%.
So then we went back and forth, but we got all signed and done, handed in our
well,
lease
and
of
also
intent.
a letter of intent. We didn't really realize that you don't have to do that right away. Like
We thought we had to have
always
everything
in
done.
everything we do. We're always like, okay, it has to be done quick. Like there's no time
Yeah.
to lag. Otherwise, you just kind of forget.
2 days for a concept.
Dude, right?
Yeah.
2 days
But
for a
to do it
concept. They're like,
correctly.
hey, here's your LOI. I'm like, great, looks great. We didn't even change anything.
No.
We didn't even have a lawyer look at it.
No.
I was just like, yep, here you go. Signed away. Dawn, need you to sign it.
Yeah, sign.
She sent it over. Yeah, it was like we sent it back the next day and they were like, holy shit. Like, thanks guys for getting it back so quick. But we didn't need
And
to
then
do that.
no,
But that was our first space.
that was our first space.
This
but
is our third space.
Oh, really?
The space we ended up
Correct.
in.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So we had signed an LOI a couple blocks away. It was going to be like a 400 square foot, more of like a
Kiosk
kiosk
kinda
type
type of deal.
thing. Which now I'm like, we have 1,500 square feet, and we're like, I don't know how we would do it with less.
No. Yeah.
We just didn't really, again, with the like, just go for it. Didn't really think it.
We're just happy to be in
fully
Rhino. We
through.
wanted a space in Rhino because of the rhinos. And we knew that we were going to give back to Care for Wild, and we give back 10% of our profits. So everything was kind of based on the Rhino.
Which RiNo is not huge. It's what, like 15 streets maybe by like 5.
It's popping though. It's the
It is
place
poppin'.
to
It
be.
is. It
for
is.
Right,
sure.
but it makes it difficult to. COVID actually really helped us in finding a spot, and so we actually see COVID as like a huge blessing for us because like
Makes
if
you
we were this
pivot.
busy all the time, like when we first started, we would have freaked out.
Yeah.
Well, we wouldn't have freaked out. We would have done it. But
probably
it would
would've
have been
figured
like,
it out,
whoa.
right.
Of course you
Love
would have
that
figured it out.
attitude.
Whoa.
Right.
Yes.
I love this. You guys
Wisdom.
opened in October of 2020.
Correct.
On my birthday.
And on your birthday.
Yes.
We
wow,
got our
that's
business
amazing.
license the day before, and I was like, "You
your-
guys, should we just open tomorrow?"
Yes. And we said yes.
Nice.
We
So-
opened the doors.
yeah.
Just
And
going
had a
after it.
big
I
old
love
party.
it so much.
Yeah.
What's your birthday?
October 1st.
First.
And
Nice.
that's the day we opened.
Wow. In the middle of a pandemic when everyone is freaking out,
Yeah.
you guys call it a blessing. Taylor and I
Yeah.
both agree. We've talked about this in other podcasts that COVID was a blessing for us as well. And I think it could be for a lot of people.
A lot of
It's just
people,
Yes.
how you choose to look at it.
Yes,
a lot of people got let go
exactly.
from their jobs, and a lot of people, I think it allowed people to see that they could pursue other things.
Yes,
That
and
they
look,
wouldn't otherwise, right? Like
Yeah.
they're on that path that you guys were talking about, like what you think you should do, what a lot of people think they should do. And I think that, I don't know if a lot of people saw it as a blessing right away,
no.
but I think for sure ended up that way.
Yeah, there's a lot of folks that come in and they talk about how they're moved here or they'll stay like 6 months or a year. They're figuring out where they want to live.
So many
because,
nomads.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
The
everybody
van
could,
life.
because you
Van
could
life.
just do whatever you want on your computer for work. So they could be anywhere they wanted to be. So it's awesome.
Yeah.
So what was the first month of business? What did that look like? Opening, being here. How was that for
The
you guys?
first day was insane. Like, we didn't sleep. We were like making little cards, the cards on the table that are like, clean, sit here, dirty,
'Cause we
don't.
were
Because we're
worried
like,
'cause
oh my
COVID, 'cause
God.
all the
You're
rules.
figuring
Everyone's
it
so
out.
dirty.
Yeah.
Right. Like, it's
Everyone's-
just so scary. There were like the 6-foot restrictions. We were trying to like figure out where to put all the tables. We were in here. We had a puppy. We were just like,
Well,
we don't know what to do.
Because this was our third spot, we had all this furniture in storage or her house.
Right.
So
Brett was stoked.
we
on
didn't
how many
even
chairs
buy
were in our
this
house.
stuff for here, this space. We bought it for a different space. But our second location changed due to the pandemic.
So everybody else had kind of backed out.
Yes, and we were doing a build out on Brighton. So everybody else had backed out. So we were like, okay, we've got to get
They
out of this.
basically
This is
gave
going
us
to be
the
a good
opportunity,
fit.
to back out. And
Correct.
we're like, well, probably a good idea. We had met these landlords at the same time around,
Yeah.
so it worked out. But first month, I mean, it was pretty hectic. We were pretty tired. We're still pretty tired.
Yeah.
We're
7 days a
Good
week,
thing you
11
got-
hours a day.
Good thing you got
right. We have
caffeine.
zero excuses because we have so much caffeine back there all the
Yeah.
time.
It's like you're tired.
Um,
Okay, drink another cup of coffee. Let's go.
Right.
We got this. Come on. Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah.
I
That's
feel
just
like
what we
we
do.
just take
I love
it
this
day by
attitude
day.
from Dawn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people could learn from you.
What was your biggest challenge, would you say? Or not even the first month. How about up until now? What has been your biggest challenge?
Art.
Probably
Art.
Latte
the
art.
latte art. Well, I think
Because I'm always on the
marketing-
machine.
Right.
Yeah.
Latte art is super tough. I think marketing as
Yeah, 'cause
well.
she does
right?
Instagram.
Like, I have never done social media. Like, I had a personal social media, but like, I was never on it. And we were kind of like, okay, we're in startup mode. We're not paying someone to like post pictures for us, right? Like, I can do that. Figuring that out has been very difficult. And then also, I think this is still a huge challenge for us is everybody comes in and they're like, this is a cute coffee shop, right? Like, super cute. I'm going to sit here. I'm going to post pictures. But I think getting everyone to realize like what the story is behind it, and that really the main reason we did it is to help support the rhinos and conservation and things like that. I think COVID kind of made us put that on the back burner, and it hasn't been as in the forefront as I would like, at least. And we're not going to be like to everyone coming in. Mom doesn't feel that way, but that's okay.
Well, I feel that way. It's okay. I'm behind it. I'm with her on this, but I don't quite see it because I didn't go to South Africa and fall in love with these rhinos like she did. But I think the overall concept is awesome, and I think the challenge was we knew if we had a good product and good service, we got this.
right. With anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at anything that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's like, let's go. Shit.
I
Let's
love
go.
it. And to be honest, I mean, there's a million coffee shops in Denver.
Right.
And they all serve good coffee.
Yes.
But what separates you guys apart is you two. Like I said, like I started this podcast with, it's every relationship that a kid would want to have with their parent, vice versa. And that's what really sets you apart. And when people get behind that, I talk about this thing with my clients. You know, I work a lot with, branding themselves and stuff. And,
So maybe you can help us.
I would love to help
Yeah.
you. But
Come on.
I mean, the thing is like, would people miss you if you were gone?
Absolutely.
Of course,
Right.
they would miss
well,
you too.
We've tried it. We've tried it
We've
2
tried-
weekends. Mom left and I left.
Our first 3 days off after 6.5 weeks.
We had, like,
6.5
Christmas
months.
off, yeah.
Yeah, 1 day. But where I left for 3 days, and then I came back and she left for 3 days. And when I was here, where's your daughter? And then when I was
Same.
gone, where's your mom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
And that's
Right.
exactly what you want. And you
Yeah.
see, if you guys disappeared and no one cared about you too, I just say that as an example, they would go
hypothetical.
find a new coffee shop to go to.
Yeah, oh,
to sit down and
absolutely.
do work, find a
Sure.
new burrito place to eat
Sure.
their delicious burritos. But if you guys were gone, everyone would be like, oh no, like you guys won't be gone because people are here to support you two. And when
is
you
pretty
put that
cool.
message out there, and then you show how much you love rhinos, and that's your big purpose, that people are willing to support it and get behind you with it.
It seems that
We've
way.
had
Like, we didn't really
amazing
know.
support here.
Right. People have been, I don't know if it's just Denver or what it is, like, and we love it, right? Like, regulars that come in, like, we want to know you, and we want to know your name, and we want to know your drink.
We really care that your kid's coming to town and you're going to spend the weekend
We
with them.
ask people, and
say,
they're like,
what
oh
are you
my
doing?
God, you remembered?
Yeah,
And
like, you care? I go, of
Wow.
course I care. I
Yeah,
wouldn't
people
ask
say
if
that
I
all the
didn't.
time. You
And then
care.
they look at me real funny, like, huh? I go, well, yeah. Come on.
Right. So it does feel like it's a big, I mean, it's a big community thing, which is awesome. I mean, that's really what we wanted to build.
Yep.
Yeah, and guess what? It's not Denver. I'm going to go back to this. It's you two. It's how much you do
Thanks.
care. And most people just want to be seen, heard, understood. And when they
100%.
show up in a coffee shop and you guys remember that their kid's coming into town, that's what creates that connection. Where it's every other coffee shop or whatever, Starbucks, is like, who gives a shit? You come in,
your
they
number.
don't. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But it's different here, and that's beautiful.
And I love that.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what, I mean, that's one of the biggest things we like.
And that's it
It's
too. It's so
people.
genuine.
Yeah.
That's just who you guys are. So it's so easy for you to be that way,
Exactly.
and that's something like you can't really teach. And
Fair.
Well, we try. That's probably why we don't have any employees yet.
well, you'll
We're
find
trying.
the right people.
We
Yeah.
will find the right people for our
you'll-
team. We will.
Yeah, exactly. And the same people who vibe with you and who
We
will
have
ask
some
those
great
questions. and
part-time
care.
people that have
We
really
do.
helped us.
Yes, we have. Yes, true.
Just in case
True.
they're listening.
Yes.
No, but really, like, how many
Yeah, we
pictures have we been in?
Yes.
Where we're like, oh my God.
And we did have
And, like,
a couple
who-
great people.
Yeah, people that have just been like, oh, just call me on a dime, I'll be there. And I'm like, oh my God, thanks. Like, it's like we wouldn't be able to open.
True.
And we have so many people that come in and they're like, did you see so and so closed down for the day because they didn't have employees show up? And it's like we're very grateful that people, have done that for us.
Yes, we are. True.
Because there's definitely days we can't. There's like things come up, can't be here every night.
Yeah.
Well, we
Well,
are.
maybe you. Yeah.
Well, because I was working full time that same job for 6 months, 3 months.
When we
3 months
when we
part-time.
opened,
Yeah.
she had still kept her full time job because we had no idea how we were going to do, or if this could support
Right.
both of us, or we just had no clue what we were going to make, or
Right.
what we were going to do.
and,
Yes.
now you're free.
Right,
Yeah, we
as of
got
just
it,
this
we
is the
did
first
it.
full week.
Do you guys live
So-
in bunk beds?
We're same,
and then
but
Brett
if you know.
and then Brett sleeps in a different room.
Right. No,
Yeah.
literally, mom
I lived
lived
with
with
them
us for
during
a year.
COVID. That poor kid. Oh my God.
Yeah.
They got married May of 2019. I
Nice.
moved
Congrats.
here
September.
September 2019, and I said, I need to get a place soon as we get the coffee shops close by because I don't
We
like
had
the snow.
signed
I don't
the
want to walk.
lease.
Yeah.
So we thought
So
it was sooner.
I'm gonna look at something close by. COVID hit. That poor Brett. He had to live with his mother-in-law for a whole year, but it was like a live-in maid. I cooked and cleaned for those kids.
Oh,
They
that's-
loved
She's
it.
that's
It was
best
awesome.
cook.
Yeah.
It was
That's
awesome.
like she just brings me sandwiches all the time. It's awesome.
That's
Yeah, so it was
perfect.
fun.
I gotta-
There it
Brett-
goes
pretty
back to
great.
like serving him.
Good for
Serving.
Brett. He sounds like a good
Yeah.
guy. And I keep getting blinded by this ring over here. Jeez, Brett.
Oh, it
Brett,
just got.
if you're listening.
Yeah,
woo.
it fell. It broke, so I just picked it up today. It got cleaned.
Nice. It's looking good.
Yeah, thanks, dude.
Beautiful, beautiful diamond.
So how did it feel to be able to quit that job? The
Amazing.
coffee shop.
Yeah, it was a pretty big move because it was like, doing it full time. I mean, hats off to mom because I would be like trying to be on calls, like we'd be on team calls with like people in India, and I'm like, I can't get off this call, so I'd have like my headphones on. I'm like trying to take orders, trying to pull
I
shots.
go, get your ass in the back.
I'm like
I got
running
it.
in
They'll
the
be all right.
back. There's like a line. I'm like, oh my God, this is like clearly my heart's here, but like the money's coming from there.
Yeah.
So that was a big transition. And so even going part time, I mean that was the company that I opened their office here, so they were pretty flexible when I came back, and I was like, I'm going to be opening a coffee shop. I don't know if they believed me.
Nobody believed us.
Right? Like, no one believed us ever. That's why the mugs we have say, actually, I can. Because we were like, you know what? Fuck everybody. Like, everyone's always going to tell you that
Yeah.
you can't do
Yeah,
something.
everybody said, there's no way.
And we were like, okay, watch this.
Yeah.
Fuck
We did
them.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fuck
Fuck
'em all.
'em.
Those, but
Yeah.
yes,
It's
exactly,
their
we
it's
did
their
it.
own insecurities. They're
Correct.
like they wish they could do that. They wish
fair.
they were brave enough. They
To do
wish
certain
that
things.
yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it was
So
definitely
excited.
scary. I mean, this is honestly, I still got paid last Friday because it was my last full, week. So this is going to be my first week without a real, a steady paycheck.
Trick or
which
treat.
is super excited.
Here we go.
Hiya.
Woo!
We'll
First
see.
week of Likker too.
Yeah, I was
Starting
gonna
next
say
week.
this is perfect timing.
Oh,
the Likker
yes,
is
it
It
is.
seems to be
you
that
know,
way.
That
summertime and
Right.
yeah, things are popping in Denver.
It'll be nice.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
It'll be perfect.
You guys got the patio, the big garage
Right.
door.
Right.
Big
Yes.
fan of garage doors. Yeah.
Oh, it's
Same.
so
Get that
nice. We've opened that
fresh
up
air
a few
in.
times. Yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
We had it open today.
Okay, so earlier you talked about success. I'm curious how you guys define success.
I think everyone would define it differently. You can go first.
Health and happiness.
Ooh.
But I think that comes with age too, right? Like unless you're taught that at an early age, people see success as like making money.
Yeah, everybody does.
Yeah.
Except.
And we want to know how you define it.
Well, I think it would honestly change. I think it's changed throughout my life.
Okay, tell us about that. Maybe
think-
Because
5 or 10
she
years
said-
ago versus now.
Because she said, what should I go to school for? And I go, well, business.
Right.
Entrepreneurship, so you can be a businesswoman.
Right, be a business person. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, that sounds like a right idea.
But she said,
So that's what I
okay.
went to school
And she went to
for.
school
Look at you
for
now.
that.
Right, right. I
Entrepreneurship.
guess,
Yeah.
yeah.
But then-
entrepreneur. Here we go.
But then did the equine her last year.
So I think that when you go to college, which everyone tells you, right, you have to, and everybody has these different paths that they take, and I think for me, college was like a no-brainer. But then you look at my brother, and he did not want to go to college.
He's like, I don't need
He
college.
like paying people to take his classes.
hustler.
Like we're totally opposite, right? But I mean, he's super successful growing squash.
Yeah, he's a farmer.
Like, he's doing-
back in
he's
California.
literally a
But he's a
farmer.
hustler.
Nice.
He makes it happen.
Right.
Like, perfect, Ricky. That's all you got to do.
So
Pay the
it's
bills.
like-
be
Whole
happy.
Family is a hustler.
Yeah.
Right.
You
You just
got to
gotta do
hustle
what
to
you
make it
gotta
happen,
do.
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
That comes from my dad.
For sure.
Yeah.
So I think, like in college, you go to these classes, and they're like, okay, like the most important thing is you got to do this internship, and then you got to go get a job, and it's you're so stressed out if you don't get the right internship, right? And all your friends are getting internships at the Big Four because they're gonna go into finance or whatever it is, and I was just like, I don't like this. Like this is crazy.
Yes, that's what she
And
called
so
and said.
I interned with your friend with that like PR company.
Yeah, down in Los
So I think
Angeles.
ultimately like money originally, right? Like you think, okay, I want to be.
Everybody
And as a recruiter, I would ask people all the time, like, what are your goals? And everyone's like, oh, I want to be a manager. Well, do you? Because being a manager kind of fucking sucks sometimes. Most of the time.
Yes.
Like I manage full teams, and like all you're dealing is with other people's problems all the time.
But you
And
have a big
so-
paycheck.
Right, but you're making a lot of money.
Right.
So it's that
I think,
trade-off.
Money for a while, and now, I mean, hanging out with mom all the time and like being here, I see people and they'll come in and they're so sad, and they're like, I need caffeine because I'm working so hard and it's tax season and I got to do this and I'm like, I just look at them and I want to just grab them and be like, don't do that anymore. Like you don't need to, but I think everybody has their own path. So I think now it's happiness. More so than money. Clearly, I just gave that up. But I think that
We'll be
everybody
slinging
has to
drinks.
see
We'll be
that
all
for
right.
themselves.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it's a
Definitely.
big thing of like,
Definitely.
making that decision for yourself. Because when people tell you that, you kind of like you don't fully believe things until you like engross yourself in it.
Yeah. Well, you
Yeah,
can't
true.
you can't tell people anything. They have their beliefs.
Right.
And I
Mom
know.
tried that my whole life.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's it's asking those better questions and helping them realize it themselves.
Sure.
And that's why we do this podcast to kind of
Well, probably do what you do, right?
Yeah.
It's like help people get to the point
Yeah.
that they should be
That they
or that
need to
you
be.
imagine they should be.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, and it's part of this podcast, right? Not like helping people understand, and
Yeah.
maybe they can see it in your story, or maybe they see it in our story, or any of our other guests' stories, that they can find themselves in that and be like, oh, wait, I'm not happy doing this.
Well, I think that brings up a really good point because I used to listen to podcasts. I forget what it's called. There's one that's like How We Were Made or something.
How
How I built
yes,
this?
Yes.
Yeah.
And you listen to those and you're like, I found myself even being like, wow, that was really lucky that they got into that space at that time and they met that person at that time. And you hear these success stories of all these different brands and you just think that it can't be you. And I think that's such a big lesson to take away is that you can make it for yourself. And
Yeah.
the same things are going to happen to you if your heart's in the right place and you're putting the work in. I think
It's hard work. She's
Well-
realizing that now.
but one thing I learned from corporate, which I'll quote my old CEO, the harder you work, the luckier you get. He always told me that.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like, flipping him off at the time. But now I'm like, you know, you see it. Like you put in the time and you put in the work. And honestly, like good things happen to you and good things come.
Yeah. So here's what's going to happen is that a year from now, 2 years from now, whenever Lekka's blowing up, there's lines down the block. Someone's going to be like, wow, these people are so lucky. They don't even work. They don't even work here. They're hanging out.
No. That's not going to fly.
being here.
No, listen. It's an example.
Okay,
but like
okay.
you guys are sitting over at this table.
Hey, cowboy.
Drinking coffee. Like you don't have to make coffee anymore, right? The employees are, and you're here just doing your thing and being, you know, really that brand. Like you two are the brand. And people come in here like, oh, there's a line down the block. They don't even work. They're just sitting over here having Irish coffees, and like that's what they see. But they don't see all these 11, 13-hour days that you put in.
Right.
And that's kind of the thing with how I built this. I used to listen to that too, and it's exactly what your CEO said. You show up every fucking day.
Yeah.
And then on day 400, you meet Oprah. And Oprah walks in here,
girl.
and she's like, this is the best coffee. These two are so fucking cute. They're dancing. I love them so much. Everyone needs to come to Lekka. And then you blow up, right? And everyone sees that one moment. But if you stopped at day 399
You never know.
and you shut the doors and Oprah was just about to come in the next day, yeah, you'll never know. You'll never have that lucky break.
There's like-
but it's like you put every single day in to get there.
Yeah. There's like a
True.
meme of somebody like digging, and it's like there's like two pictures of it. The guy on the top is digging, literally one more inch of digging, and he hits gold or whatever,
Yeah.
but he quits. And then the guy on the bottom, it's like he keeps going, and you're like that close. But I love that quote from your CEO. There's a quote with, I think it's Marcus Aurelius, Stoic philosophy, that says, luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity.
There you go.
So you guys, you had the opportunity, but you guys put in the work. And I love what you said about happiness. And I think that the part of the point is you get to decide what makes you happy.
Right.
Like you don't, I think the vast majority of people, money is probably one of the biggest factors, right?
Right, which sucks.
But a lot of people who've never had money think that.
Yeah. And then you get it and you're like, was this?
Was it so
Well,
great
what is it?
after
I
all?
still
If you
feel
have
empty
one
inside.
level, right.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
many wealthy
It's
people
the
have so many
relationships.
problems?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to bring up,
It
'cause
helps, don't get wrong.
we sent you a questionnaire before, and we asked,
I answer these questions. I'm just going to forward.
Yeah.
I'm going, what question?
We asked, what's one belief that you change your mind on? And Kara, you said happiness is a choice each day. And you also said Don is a big proponent of this one, and I didn't used to think that way. So I would love to hear more on like you not thinking that way, and I'd love to
Yeah.
hear Don, your belief that happiness is a choice and why that is.
She would just tell me that all the time.
Because Kara's dad passed away in an accident when I was pregnant with my second child.
Don's a badass.
And you
like,
never
nobody even
think
realizes all
that
this.
anything like that's ever going to happen to you. My world was so perfect in my teens and 20s, and it was about 6 days after my 30th birthday.
She just
and
found out she
so
was pregnant like 3 days
Just found
before.
out. Nobody knew. My parents didn't know. His parents didn't know. And so I come home and find out he passed that day because I was out of town. And I was just like, are you shitting me? What am I going to do? I'm pregnant. And everybody goes, what? Oh, no. And there's little Kara because she was
2.
She was 2, and she was part of the accident, but he covered her and saved her.
It was a boating accident.
Yeah. And
Wow.
so I
So
think,
then at that point,
yeah, at
you
that,
realize like you could literally die tomorrow.
yes,
You got to fucking live each day.
absolutely. And I
Because
said,
it happened. Like it was just
Yeah.
in the flesh.
yep. And so
Also, nobody knows that.
Yeah.
I don't think.
a lot of people don't know because
Yeah.
it's not something you just
Like, yeah.
talk about, right?
Yeah.
Hey, hello, how you doing?
Yeah.
Right.
It just changed my world. And so I raised the kids, great kids. I was with them 24/7, the mom and the dad.
But you just told us to do.
You guys, yeah.
She would say it all the time, and I don't think it really resonated until I'm like, now even, where it was like, she'd always say, "You could die tomorrow. Do what you want. Like, why not?" And it was always like, "Yeah, okay, mom." But I mean, it really makes sense.
But yeah, we don't
And I
know.
feel
We
like I
don't know
tell
if tomorrow's
people
going to
now
come.
that.
We you never know what's going to happen, right? We've got one shot, and we better make it good. We better have a good day. So every
Yeah.
day I wake up, I'm like, fuck, today's going to be a good day. And like, I love to come here. When I said I took off 3 days, had a blast.
She's
I
ready to
couldn't
come
wait to
back.
get my happy ass. I was here at 4:30. Shit, screwing the floors, looking around, like waiting to see the customers, who's going to come in, what's going to happen. Yeah, so like you say, we have to make it happen, our happiness. It's your
Right.
choice. You can wake up and be pissed off at the world or angry, or you can be happy and turn it around.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
always going to be something you can be frowned about.
Always.
Yeah.
True.
I've got chills. This is
I'm
incredible. You
loving
could
it.
not have said that better.
So good.
This is-
Thank you so much
Kills
for
it.
sharing that
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
And, I'm curious, is there any specifics, like how do you choose happiness? You know, you just wake up
I
and
woke
be
up.
happy? But when
Hell,
things get you down,
Open my eyes.
does anything get you down, Dawn? Are you ever sad?
Yeah, I have my sad moments once in a while. I think, God, wonder if I should have a relationship with someone again. Because I've been single for like 5 years.
I told Mom to move to Denver because it was called Member. I was like, Mom, like,
Yes.
let's get you out here.
Listen up, ladies.
We're going to get you to meet someone over here. It's going to be great.
But I'm very independent.
Yeah.
And I understand relationship. You know, it's just a different. This is the best thing that ever happened to me. This little Lekker coffee shop.
Whoa,
So it all worked.
hey-o. It's
It all
recorded
worked.
here today.
Well, we have a bar too. The bar is
Yeah.
going to bring us to action. Yeah, it's just fun.
Speaking
So-
of action, guys, you know where to find
If
Dawn
you
at
know
Lekker
some
Coffee.
single men.
Hey-o.
This is now the matchmaking show.
What is it? 3460
But
Larimer?
Larimer Street.
Come on down.
But no, when I do get sad, I talk myself right in because our brain is, our brain can do lots of tricks on us. So I just think, you know what? What the hell are you pouting about? You got a coffee shop, you got beautiful children. Snap out of it. Get with the program, and then I'm okay.
But we talk about that all the time.
Yeah, we
how your
regroup really
brain-
fast.
But how your brain will always, as a human, you always think the worst.
Yes.
In
It's
any
it's protecting you.
situation.
Correct.
right?
Yeah.
Everybody thinks the worst. Like if someone doesn't call or they don't do something,
Or you do
automatically
or you said
think.
something wrong, and you think that they're like overthinking it, and you're nervous or sad.
Yeah.
So we always
True.
talk about that too.
Yeah, we do.
I had this message maybe a month or so ago. It hit me. I was on the chairlift at Copper Mountain, and I think my buddies got the other chair. I was alone. I was bumping music, and it hit me all of a sudden. I'm like, I'm always so happy too. I'm always so positive, and I'm like, and there's all this toxic positivity, and I don't know if you've heard that, right?
Yes,
and I'm like,
lots.
fucking bullshit. And
What's
I'm like,
toxic? What is that?
toxic positivity. It's, I mean, there might be some validation to it, but it's like, it's saying like, no, good vibes only. Like you can't be sad. And of course you can be
No,
sad,
yeah.
but you have the choice. And anyway, my message was my positivity isn't toxic. It's a practice.
Sure.
And
That's right.
and we had this day on the slopes. I don't know if we talked about this on the podcast. I can't remember, but it was like the worst day of skiing ever. The snow was brushed off. It was just a sheet of ice. It was windy. It was bitter cold. And we go down, Taylor and I go down our first run, and we get in the chair next to each other, and we both know, like, this is terrible. It's freezing. This kind of sucks. And I look at him. I'm like, what a fucking great day to be alive. I'm like, I'm so happy to be here. And that was my first thought. I'm not tricking my brain. I'm not like, it's just been a practice that,
Yeah.
like, just over and over being like, instead of sitting in this misery, I'm going to choose to think positive. Like, I'm out. It's a Thursday. I run my own business. I can take a Thursday off and go snowboarding whenever I want.
Yeah.
I'm with my best friend. Like, this is a great day. I don't care about the conditions.
Well, I
Right.
hope you skied your happy ass in the lodge and drank all day. And
That's
we
what-
did.
that's
It was a
all
short
we do.
day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we had an incredible burrito, not as good as Lekka. It was pretty good.
There you
and
go.
Got
Beers.
drinks and
Yeah.
hung out.
See,
And
perfect.
Yeah.
So it worked out being a good day.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But that was like the original. It wasn't like chairlift after chairlift, like this sucks, should we leave? This sucks, should we leave? It's
Right.
like, no, this is a great day. And that's
Yeah.
the first thought. But
Yeah.
it's taken time to think that. And you were lucky
Sure.
enough, Kara, to grow up with that and
Right.
having it ingrained in your brain.
Yeah. Even though, I mean, still though, you get sucked into that. I mean, obviously, I went straight into 9 to 5 after college and didn't love it, right? Like, all the time. And she would still be telling me, like, you don't have to do that, da, da, da. But I just still
Yeah.
thought I did.
And then when we opened this and she thought that she had to keep that, I go, honey, we're going to do fine. I see the stress that causes you. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
Stress is horrible on our bodies. And how many people carry that around? They're like,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. Big
Well,
shoulder
and that's
shrug.
where it's like the whole money conversation. It's like,
Yeah.
at what point is it worth it?
Zeros.
Right? You
Well, it's
things like
always-
that.
She always says
You-
it's all zeros.
you make the 100,000. Now you want 250,000.
Yeah.
Now you
It's
want a
never
million. Now
enough.
you want 50
Yes.
million.
Yeah.
It's never
Yeah.
enough. So it's like, yeah, it has to be rooted around something different. And that's why I try and help, my especially my clients where I'm like, I actually fell into this last December and trying to launch, and it was all like, I want to make this money. I want to make this money. I want to make this money.
Right.
And I had a terrible launch for my program. And it's because I was focusing on
So
the wrong
focused on
things.
that, yep.
And it was stressing me out and making me miserable. And I was lucky enough to go home to Connecticut, recenter myself, and be like, why am I doing this? Why do I exist? I'm like, if I can show up in happiness and love my life, then I can inspire everyone else to love their life.
Sure.
Yeah.
And when I show up that way and show up to serve my potential clients on Instagram, that's what's going to bring the money. So it's like, let's start with the why, why we exist and the whole purpose of me showing up every day. And then the money will come. And don't worry about it.
But it is hard
Yeah.
work.
It is.
When
Yeah.
you decide what you're going to do, you've got to put in that time. And but you got to love it.
But I think that's also so many people come in here and they're like, oh, it's my dream to open a coffee shop.
Yeah,
And
we're like,
it
is
seems
it?
very glamorous, but we're literally here. So like we go to bed at like 8 p.m.
Yeah, 8 or 9. Yeah.
and we don't even serve liquor yet. So
And
like
you're
we
up
don't
at
really know
4.
how we're gonna do this.
Yeah.
oh, we're gonna do it easy. Just have a shot of whiskey. You'll be
Right.
fine.
Mom's like, just take rip shots. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my
Yeah.
God.
I
This is
can.
gonna be a situation.
I can't wait for this. We can
Yeah.
talk
She
about the
gets-
alcohol. This
She's
place is going
mad at
to
me
be a
when I'm
big party.
hungover. She's like, you're
Hey,
not
you'll be all
conditioned,
right.
Kira. Get it together.
Come on, get it together. Let's go. Let's go. You gotta.
Yeah.
You gotta.
I'm like, oh my
gotta
God.
get this.
Okay, here we go.
Hair of
It'll
the
be
dog.
fine.
Yeah.
This-
So it's a lot of work.
This is what I love. Everything about Dawn, it's a mindset. And it's
Totally.
just this is, and this
It's
is
a
what we
mindset.
talk a lot about, and it's interesting because Matt and I will talk about it, and I really appreciate you sharing that story because I don't have a story like that where maybe I struggled that hard and still chose happiness. And I think sometimes we talk to people and they're like, oh, cool, good for you, Taylor and Matt, like your lives are good and whatever, but it's like I could just sit with it forever or I could make a choice, and I'm curious what you guys think. There's this quote that a lot of people talk about. If you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. Do you agree with that?
Hell no.
No, fucking work is hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be
Completely
successful
agree.
yourself. Now you could get handed something.
I mean, granted, we love every day, but we're
Yeah.
still working.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I totally agree. And I
Yeah.
figured you guys would say that, but I think that's something else. People are like, it's like, the
That's the
analogy
perception.
earlier of like, oh, you guys love what you do. It's great. Like, good for you. I could never do that. And it's like, no, you have to put the harder work in and
Right.
you can still enjoy it. And
Yeah.
there's moments, I imagine there's parts of what you guys do that you don't like. Like for me, I own my own business. I don't like bookkeeping. I don't like accounting.
Yeah,
Oh
me
my
either. That was
God.
part of the deal.
We're
Yeah.
so Brett got dragged in. He's like
She's doing it.
He's doing bookkeeping.
Yeah.
He's a barista. He's now gonna be
Yeah.
a bartender.
Love her husband. He's such a good
Poor
son-in-law.
guy.
No, he's a good son-in-law. We
Right.
need good
But
guy.
like putting on those things outside around the tables. That's
Yeah.
my least
Yeah.
favorite thing about opening and closing.
Oh, yeah,
It
the
fucking
locks.
sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate it.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
feel
like
like
it, especially in the rain.
I'm in
Yeah.
I don't like
here.
that either.
I'm in here. I see you guys, and all of a sudden there's this guy here, like cleaning up and doing things, and I'm like, oh,
That's Brett.
That must
That's
be
Brett.
him. Yeah.
That's
Brett.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I
We
love
love
it.
Brett.
I love it. Yeah.
He's a big
yeah.
supporter.
So it's you can still love what you do, and it's challenging. It's,
Yes.
Oh,
it's hard
100%.
work, right?
Yes.
I think and it is a perception, right? Because if people are only chasing that, you're never gonna find that. I think, right? Like if they're chasing that only goal of like
That perfection.
I'm not gonna be working a day in my life if I love this. I don't know.
Like everybody
It's
says, when are
absurd.
you going to, just what you said, they said, when are you going to staff it and then relax?
That's been
It's
our
like, no.
number one
Yeah.
question.
Yes. It's
Yeah.
like, no, I love this. What the hell am I going to do all day?
Yeah.
Right. Like literally.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like,
We want to be here.
and live to work. It's fun. But we've created this, so it's fun.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I love it. I completely agree. I was on my story the other day and I'm like, I don't think I'm taking a day off for the next 3 weeks. You guys haven't taken a day off in months, so I'm not one to talk, but I'm like, but I'm okay with it. And like,
Yeah.
I totally believe in like, maybe we'll call it work-life integration. Like I still want to,
Sure.
have my Thursdays to go maybe in the winter at snowboarding or whatever it is. But in this moment, I've got a lot of shit to do. And guess what? I fucking love it. So I don't
Right.
care that I'm not taking a day
Yeah.
off. Like,
Yeah.
this is what I actually love.
fun.
And could you imagine, the listeners, could you imagine a day where you worked 12-hour days,
Yeah.
no day off for a month, and actually love every second of it? And if you can't imagine that,
Switch.
things need to change.
Yeah.
And not to say you have to do that either. You don't have to
No.
work 12-hour days and
No.
not have a day off, but
There's also like moments. There's definitely moments where
Yeah,
we
where we're
both are like,
tired.
okay, let's take a second.
yeah.
Yeah. Whew,
Yeah.
What we doing?
You
here?
know.
Yeah.
But then we're like, but look at this. Like we'll
Right.
sit here on the couch.
We just come and sit on the couch. We just look around.
Like, wow,
Yeah.
look at
Sick.
this.
We
is
did it.
incredible.
It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah,
This
we
is-
painted in here, did the reclaimed wood. I mean,
right.
we
Like
did
we
a
did
lot
things
of work.
like that whole front of that bar. We got like a a saw.
We rented a saw and a
and we
staple
got
gun.
like a
we
nail
did the work.
gun.
Yes.
Mom's
Yeah.
like, you can't do that. I was like, I already got it, so we're doing it tonight.
Nice.
I'm like, oh my God. So we became contractor and construction workers.
Right.
But we did it.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Wow. I wish.
That's
Do you have
good.
videos of that? Don with
there
the nail
are-
gun?
Yeah.
Right. She'll
Pretty good.
reenact it all
Yeah.
day long.
Should we pull some out so I can put them back
Yeah.
up?
And it all worked out perfect. Her math was really good. We just had a few boards left
Right.
over. It was amazing. But it was awesome. We look at it
fun.
now. It's like, wow, we did that.
Yeah.
And people say, who'd you hire to do that? Right here.
Yeah.
Need to hire us to
People
come
come
to
in
your
all the
house?
time like, who designed this space? And we're like,
Oh, do you need my card?
Yeah.
There we go.
right?
Yeah.
It's amazing the amount of things people stop themselves from doing because they think they can't do it or don't have
Correct.
the tools.
Everybody thinks
Yes.
they can't do it.
Even like, oh, can't start a podcast. Now we have these nice mics and the
Yeah,
camera
look at
and all.
these.
Yeah, look
Yeah.
at this.
But like-
this is so.
But you don't
yeah.
need that. You could, if you want to do a solo podcast, you could talk into your phone and upload
Fair.
it to a podcast hosting site. Like, you don't need all these things. Like, whatever, you want to start a YouTube, the phones are fucking amazing now. Start doing
Yeah.
that. Just put a light on your face so it's good lighting and
Right.
like, let's go, let's record. Same with you guys. Bought wood, you bought a nail gun, and you
Yeah.
furnished
It
the
was
place.
pretty
and-
funny.
It was.
Even getting this couch was hilarious. Brett was out of town.
I know we put it in the
And
car.
we were like,
how'd this couch fit in the car?
Let's
I'll
put
never
this
know.
in the car. And
Took
we put
the
it in
legs
the car.
off, we unscrewed
and the
the
guy's
legs.
What kind of
like,
car are
is
we
this going to
talking?
be okay? It's like an SUV, like not big enough for a couch.
Yeah.
Yeah, hanging
We-
out the back.
It was
I
like
put a
hanging
red
out like
flag
this
on
far.
it.
We
We'll be
had all
okay.
these like ropes tied. We're just
But we
grateful we
made
made
it.
it back. Yeah.
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 Got it here.
Just
Oh
gotta
no, we
do
didn't
it.
get it here. We put it in the house for a while.
It's awesome.
Man,
Crazy, but yeah,
This
it's
has been
amazing.
incredible. Such a great story, such great people. What I would love to know, kind of wrapping things up, is what advice would you give potential listeners? Somebody who is listening and hearing this, and maybe they have that thing, they have that dream, that goal. Like, what advice would you give them to go after it or choose happiness or just take action in any way?
Get after it. Go.
But I also think it's baby steps because I think you've always just gone.
Yeah.
Whereas like
Full
She
throttle,
gone.
baby.
Yeah,
we got
bye.
this.
Okay,
Let's
Dawn's
go.
already running down
Yeah.
the street. Like literally, she's gone. I think you know.
Hey,
for-
Dawn, come
right.
back.
I'm like,
Sure.
hey. She's like, no.
The wrong way.
Yeah.
I think that you know,
can make it happen, but
Totally.
you do have to have a plan. Put the plan together.
But follow
expect to
it.
work your ass off and make it happen. But yeah, and
I challenge
follow
you.
your plan.
Do you need a plan? Doesn't sound like you guys had much of a plan.
No, we didn't. We
Yes, we did. She
A
came
little-
back
a
from
little,
South
but-
Africa and fell in love with those rhinos. And when she was in Rhino, and I saw
but
those.
not like a written plan. Like also, people asked us for our business plan, and I was like, yeah, totes. And I had to make that
was-
too. Like
That's
in
what
a
I'm
night.
because you say that plan. That's what people I feel like
No,
think.
I
Oh, a
think
business plan, all
mom-
this step by step.
no, my
Plan,
plan is like-
plan is a lot different to mom than it is to like anybody that's
Like-
been in
like
like,
a
a corporate job.
a vision?
yeah, I've never had a corporate job.
Would that be fair to say? A vision?
A vision.
Yeah.
I think a
A
vision.
vision. A
Yeah,
vision.
if you have
Yeah,
an
there you
idea
go.
of what you want to do, I think it's baby steps. I think, you know, making sure that you're actually getting towards that and the things you're doing are going towards that, right? Like we didn't know how to make coffee. Like literally we did not. You guys
No.
like we would
We
not
just-
even
We found Novo and started taking coffee
Novo,
classes.
like praise the Lord for our
Novo's
coffee.
awesome.
You know, roaster.
Yes.
They trained us in everything. They were probably like, oh my God, these girls.
Dawn's
like,
here
they're
again.
like-
This is
go
gonna
kno-
go
I
well.
knock on the door.
run in and
Yeah.
be like, hey guys.
Yeah.
And they're
I
like,
want to. Can I work on the machine today? Is it okay? They go,
They're
yeah,
like,
Dawn, get back there.
okay.
I was always there, knocking on the door. Hey guys, hey guys. I told the
Like,
kid, I'm gonna walk to town.
right.
They would just laugh.
Yeah. No, I think making the baby steps and like actually getting like setting little goals is important too, because I think if you don't do that, you're never gonna feel like you're actually accomplishing anything, right? Like, yes, there's the big end goal, opening a shop, end goal, but like in order to do that, we had to make our concept, we had to make a business plan, like things that come up along the way that are maybe not planned. But you do them, and you got to celebrate them. Like, we were getting drunk all the time.
Yeah,
'cause
we were
like,
so
oh,
excited.
shit,
Like, yes, we
we
did
did
this.
this. Let's go take
Yes.
shot. Like,
Yeah.
when we signed our first lease, which is not even this lease,
Yeah.
we're like out at Luster Pearl. We've got photos. We're wasted. We got that lease out.
Oh, can
We're
we
like,
see
we're-
these
we're
photos?
flipping through the
Pictures of the
pages.
lease.
Like,
Yeah, we're
like,
so
oh my, like, that
excited.
is not okay. But it is.
Yeah,
and it's
oh.
great. Like,
We-
you got to celebrate the
people
little wins.
Gotta
we
celebrate
talk
the little
about that
wins.
Yes.
all the time. Yeah.
I literally brought this up again. I think on my story today, I made a reel about it actually. But it's like
I don't even know what that is.
a reel. It's like TikTok.
Help.
It's like TikTok for Instagram.
I'm the social
Okay.
media
Well,
manager.
Yeah, I'm crushing it. But anyway, I'm like, celebrate the wins because you actually trick your mind to go, whatever you did to do that, like accomplish that.
Yeah.
Your brain goes, oh, this is amazing. I want to do that again.
I want to do more.
And it's like the example I like to use is like if you say no to the donut, like let's say you're trying to lose weight, wherever, there's always donuts around. You say no to the donut, and then you go in the back and you're like, yes, I said no to the donut today. I am so strong. I'm so powerful. Like I am in control. Next time you see that donut, it's going to be easier to say no. And it's like working the muscle. So I love that. It's so important.
Yeah.
Oh, look at my socks. I got
He
donut
has donuts
socks.
on his socks.
I love donuts. But guess what? I'll go run 8 miles and whatever. I earn my donuts.
There you
It's
go.
fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think
that's
celebrating
great.
the little things.
Yes, you have to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. I have one last final question. How do you guys drink your coffee?
Just black.
I drink anything.
She drinks
Nitro,
about
cold
eight
brew.
coffees a day.
All of it.
I have
Okay, okay.
chocochinos. Since we got chocochinos, I have one of those every day because there's a lot of good stuff in that. And they
Immunity
say, you know,
boosting,
live
health
long, die
benefits.
pretty. And it's like,
She's
yeah,
like,
it's
look at my face, man. Like my wrinkles.
What-
So
I
I
love-
drink that every day.
I love that golden latte.
I
No-
drink
Good
that.
one,
I
too.
drink
No
that every
caffeine,
morning.
right? But yeah.
No caffeine, but I drink the.
Shout out
what is it?
to Golden Root.
Yeah. What is the?
You drink Gold Mine stress-free powder.
Yeah, that
Mom
one.
drinks adaptogenic mushrooms.
Yes,
Nice.
but it really takes the because you.
She
could
had
tell
to
I-
start drinking it in the afternoons because she was drinking it in the mornings, and it's like we call it our stress-free latte, and truly it does like take your anxiety away. But we'd have like cups lined up, and she'd be like chilling, taking her time. I'm like, Mom, we gotta get this shit out.
that's too.
And she's like, I'm like, you're not allowed to drink this in the morning anymore. She's like,
Oh,
it's fine.
chill.
It's okay.
Honey,
They'll wait. It's gonna be good.
They're fine.
But-
Look at them
yeah.
over there. They're hanging. I'm
yeah.
like, oh God.
True.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'd take
Yeah.
that to the afternoon.
Yeah, that's so great. When I was a barista, all of a sudden, you kind of get bored. So it's shot of espresso
Yes.
here. All of a sudden, 12 shots later, and you're like buzzing.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. No, we don't
It's
drink as much coffee as I think
dangerous.
you
No.
would think. I probably have like 8 ounces of drip coffee.
We
a
know
day.
now to stop at 12.
That's
Yeah.
We know to sleep.
12 cups.
Yeah, no, so stop at 12 o'clock.
Okay,
at 12
yeah,
o'clock.
12
Like,
o'clock,
no, we shouldn't drink coffee. after
Caffeine's got a
this.
6-hour half-life.
Hence the seltzers.
Yeah.
So if you have 200 milligrams at noon, you'll have 6 hours later, you have 100 milligrams in your system.
Didn't even know.
And then by midnight, you'll still have, what are we at now? 50 milligrams. So yeah, it's important to stop. If you have trouble sleeping,
Yeah. Or you just
Stop
smoke
earlier.
a little
See, I learned
weed.
something new every day. I just
Smoke
learned
a
that.
little
Maybe I'll
weed,
stop
yeah.
at 10 now.
Right.
There
Probably
you go.
Never
not.
know. Probably not,
Probably
but
not.
Yeah.
sounds good.
Yeah.
We'll try it.
The decaf.
Yeah, espresso martini.
Oh,
That's coming next.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Oh,
What
baby.
is that?
So-
Did you have drinks like, what's the first drink you're going to make here?
Espresso martini.
Espresso martini.
Yes.
That's vodka martini?
Vodka, yes.
Yes. Vodka, espresso.
Yeah, gin would be weird. Wow.
I mean, we could
Can't
do
wait.
it. Try it.
I'll take
Yeah.
one of everything you
Yep.
make. If you
Yep.
need a
Perfect.
taste tester,
Oh,
Well, that's what we were
gonna do
planning on
today.
doing that right now.
Yes.
And then we had to
Not gonna
clean.
happen,
let's
yeah.
let's hang this shit up and have some drinks.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank
If
you.
you want to
Thank you,
find them,
guys.
Taylor said the address before. Lekker Coffee. Use Google. It's a very, I don't know if you heard of Google, but just put it in Google Maps. You'll find it if you're in
Yeah.
Denver. On Instagram, at Lekker Coffee. Is that it?
Underscore RiNo, RiNo.
Underscore
Yeah.
RiNo.
LEKKER.
Coffee underscore
Right.
RiNo. And then they just made their first TikTok. Go check them out over there. Is there anywhere else people can find you? Guys, if you come in, buy their mugs, you get 10% off on all your coffee.
First drink free.
First drink free
Yes.
and 10% off.
We're coming up with some cool new designs for shirts and trying to get some swag.
Support the local
Yeah.
businesses.
Yeah.
These two are amazing women.
If anything, you're gonna have a great time.
Yeah, just come in and have a good time.
yeah.
Heyo.
That's for sure.
If you don't drink alcohol, if you
fine.
don't drink coffee,
We have
you
tea.
should have this golden
We
lot.
have tea.
They have tea. They have water, believe it or not. Come in and just have some fun. The music's bumping.
The best
Guess what?
burritos.
The best burritos.
yeah.
Every time I come in here,
One fold.
one
Wow.
fold, one and
Yes.
done. Every time I come in here, there's Dave Matthews playing, so you know I love that. And I think that's it.
Awesome.
Cool.
That's it,
Thanks,
guys.
Thank
Woo,
you
Thank you
so
guys
much.
for having
Thanks
us.
again. And so
Yay.
until next time, peace.
Peace out.
Oh. Bye.